Here's Michael Greene. He's got Friday at the Fuzz.
All right, thank you, Derek. In the studio with us is Elgin's Chief of Police, Jeff Swoboda, and also Sergeant Ramljak. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
We're fired up.
Fired up. You're up, but
up.
neither one of you are up.
It's cop on top.
Can
We
we
get to that a little
We
bit.
can start with that? That's
Yeah,
fine.
whatever you want.
Todd's
I've been up for a while already.
Were you?
Yeah.
What time did you start? 5:30 this morning?
About 5:45
Okay.
for cop on top town.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be at 5:30.
At that time in the morning, a little slower move.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You know, I'm a night shift guy, but
Right.
I can stay up at night, but being able to wake up in the morning to go do something is a little rougher. But yeah, we're doing cop on top today, 95 Clock Tower Plaza at the Dunkin' Donuts. It's for Special Olympics. We partner up and raise money, so come on by. You get a little handy-dandy coupon for a free donut. If you donate
Something red and white or something?
Yeah.
Does it the colors signify
Yes,
Special Olympics?
Right, and there you get all the places where you can use the coupon are on the back, and yeah, it's
Literally all of them.
Yes, there's a bunch. Every single Dunkin' Donuts.
You listen them all.
A ton.
Probably easier to have just said right. Yeah.
Right. Use here.
All locations except.
Right. It
There
is
might have been
easier.
3 or 4 then.
So we're there from 5 a.m. to 2 p.m. today, and you see us out and about in the parking lot, and everything helps. Every spare change that you have in the center council and everything. If
Years past, and they give like a mug or something.
Yeah, there's
there's been different promotions.
Right. There's certain things people give $5-10. There's some extra things.
Oh, that's still
and
as well this year.
Yeah. Yes. And then like I said, you get us before you go through, and you can grab a donut with that coffee that you're getting today. So we're getting a lot of participation down there. Everybody in the community really helps out with this. People their horns. We have some police officers up actually on top of the Dunkin' Donuts.
Well, top on
top.
Think.
They're not coming down until we get a certain amount of money. So they're up there all day.
So 2 o'clock or the money.
Yeah.
Or can they just stay up there?
They can just stay up. We're gonna make them stay up there, I think. So it's going real well. So come on by if you can. 5 a.m. or till 2 p.m. today, and it's
For a great cause. Yeah, Special Olympics are awesome, and I know you've taken part as a department, I believe, as well with the is it the torch run?
Torch run's part of it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the torch run's part of it. This portion's part of it, and really a big shout out to Commander Lally and Officer Tom Wollick, who are the two that really kind of spearhead this. A lot of people get involved, but working through Linda Hageman at the Kane County State's Attorney's Office, a lot of Kane County agencies are involved in this. So our police department's been involved in it for years, and we're excited for it. It's a great cause. The Olympians love it. I know they have a golf outing in the summer as well that we go to, and they have some of the Olympians there. So it's a fantastic organization, and so we're happy to be a part of it. But yeah, a lot of stuff going on with it, with Torch Run coming, and I'm missing one. The Polar Plunge. I was busy again that day this year. I was really upset.
Darn.
I know. It's till Anna next year, though, so.
Anna was part of it, right? Didn't she?
Oh, yeah,
I thought
she's
I
part of it
remembered
every year.
seeing
Oh,
her.
yeah. So Jeff Adam was a big part of it. But again, Tom Will, kind of the Special Olympics crew, has been a part of it. Our Explorers were a big part of it recently. So it's a great program we're proud to be a part of.
That's awesome. A couple of things going on that we want to kind of tie up, but we thought we'd kind of start with that. That was fine. I know it's made a lot of, locally, right, a lot of noise recently with some of the different shootings that are going on. We talked about this last week. I think Detective or Deputy Chief Wolf had even said, right, it was the same number as they've had in years past, and well down from 20 years ago, for instance, or for example. But you still have some shootings going on, and maybe you can talk about the one. I think it was Wednesday morning, very early, like 4 a.m. on Du Bois. Just kind of, I know active investigations. I'm not sure, that's always a tough one with what you can talk about, what you can't talk about. Sometimes you put out more information. I don't know. Maybe you can talk to when you put out more, the reasoning behind you're doing that, because sometimes you have to kind of stay tight-lipped, as you've said in the past, because you don't want the person that you might be targeting, right, to person or persons to kind of know that you're getting close.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're always balancing that. I know a lot of people, when something like this happens, obviously they're alarmed, and totally understand it, and they're very alarmed, especially if it happens in their neighborhood. But really happening anywhere in Elgin, Elginites get alarmed by this, and people want all the information. Who are you looking for? Well, what is it? How many times they shot? There's a lot of information that people want that they just want to know for the sake of wanting to know. But we release the information to make sure people know about it, and we've really increased that, in years past. There were a lot of times where shootings. We didn't have social media at the time. If the paper was busy with other stuff, it might not be in the paper. And so now with social media, we put it on our site, so everyone knows about them. So yeah, people, wow, there's a lot going on, and there is a lot going on. And Elgin's a big city, and every year there's a lot going on. Comparing it to last year, and I know Bill talked about that in the paper, but it's still alarming. We had multiple, shootings in the past couple of weeks. So our detectives, our gang units, working on all of these, and until we make arrests or until we need the community help, we're not going to really be releasing much more. And sometimes because we don't have much more, we've talked in the past that we know that victims know who have shot them, and they don't want to tell us. They won't assist us. They will purposely give us bad information so we don't go down the path of catching them. So
is that
they're
mostly
difficult.
like a gang issue with that kind of situation? I mean, because I would think personally, as an average citizen, someone shoots me and I know who it is.
Right.
I'm going to tell you who hey, get this guy.
Right.
This is who did it.
Exactly.
But these aren't average citizens in many of the cases. I don't know if with it still being open again, what you can say, but like you said, when they're not telling you, there's a reason why,
Right.
and that's because it's street justice, I guess.
Yeah, and I went off on a tangent because I don't want to make
Yeah.
that about this case because
Right.
I don't
I mean,
know
we're
that to be
speaking
the case. In
generalities.
generalities. Yeah,
Yeah.
with the shootings that we have, it's generally when it's involving gang members that we won't get a whole lot of information, and so we're, the victims won't talk to us. There's not sometimes witnesses who won't talk to us. Obviously, the suspects who we may think are going to happen, they're not going to talk to us. So detectives have to use a variety of other resources and try to get information. And so, we go back to video, we go back to social media. We do a lot of things where if people would just help us. But, that's part of it. That's part of the lifestyle of being in a gang. And so they do these things. And so we'll have this back and forth from time to time that occurs. And so that's kind of on the general scale. Now on this one, Wednesday morning we had a subject about 4 a.m. that we got a call that was shot multiple times at his house. And I think Bill Wolf already said, each one of these instances that we're dealing with have been targeted. And so now we're working with the victim here to find out who might have done this to him. And our detectives are working on it. And until, people will always ask, are they linked together? And until we make an arrest or until we have something, we don't know. I mean,
Or maybe you have a suspicion, but
right. We may have 2 people from the same gang that have been shot, and you would think, oh wow, there's something going on between them and someone else, and it might. We've had years past where it had nothing to do with another gang. One was, it was over a girlfriend on one, and the other one was over something else. And so, our initial blush on it, you take it and you look at it and say, okay, is this gang related? Is it not? And then we decided if our major investigations division is going to take it, or a gang unit, and then from there we work the case. And sometimes we need a break that happens, and they come from sometimes the strangest source, and so we don't always know where we're going to get our information. So this is another one that we have, and it is busy, and it's everything that we're talking about at neighborhood meetings, and people are wondering what's going on, and we say the same thing. Continue to get involved with your neighborhood, continue to be a part of neighborhood watch. Call us when you see something suspicious. And we have great officers that are out there working daily, trying to catch the people who are doing this. And then after they happen, we have just unbelievable detectives who do a great job. And so I'm confident in these that will make arrests eventually, but they do take time. And so I just encourage people to get involved. A lot of people that will go on social media and just wow, this town is up for grabs or whatever. Have no idea what it as far as what the real is. You look at the crime rate and the safety of a big city, but I'd encourage them to come out from the basement and come out and go to a neighborhood meeting, get involved, come out with a walk with the mayor, come out with national night outs coming out, and get involved to help help be part of the solution.
Yeah. Sergeant Ramljak, interestingly enough, right? A lot of these, not interestingly enough, but many of these happen on your midnight shift. What kind of conversations do you have with your crew, right? Overnights or before you go out? Are there certain things that you're looking for, certain things that you're doing, that areas that you target? You have some tools in place, right? Like the predictive policing stuff, right? I don't know if all this gets put into that, but maybe talk a little bit about what you're doing on midnights with this.
Yeah, every night in roll call, we'll talk about what's going on. What happened the previous night. We get updates during the day via email about what had happened in the shift before. We have plenty of technology out there that helps us kind of predict where some of the crimes might occur, especially burglaries. And we take a proactive approach every night, hitting the spots that the software or just what comes out from the crime analysis about where burglaries will be. And we'll be out there pulling on doors on businesses, walking around, getting out of our squad cars with another officer, or walking around the neighborhood, seeing what we can find. And sometimes there's nothing wrong with going out there and somebody taking a walk out in the middle of the night at 3 o'clock in the morning, but a lot of times we just want to say hello.
Raises an eyebrow. Hey,
yeah,
brings you out tonight.
Yeah, we just want to say hello, and it's because a lot of times they're not out there just going for a walk. So.
I know one of the crime stats to get off of that has been up, I think you've mentioned in the past, was burglary, right?
Yep.
Burglary to motor vehicles and stuff. And you're doing some things on overnight that I found interesting, because I know my family is very bad about this up in Huntley. I'm not going to say where, but they have a hard time, it seems, to close the garage door. Whoever's the last one in the house, and I think I've received 2 notices in the last week that the garage has been left open.
Yeah, definitely.
Great to notice when I leave at 4:45 or 5 o'clock in the morning. They'll come here, but you guys handle it a little differently sometimes, right?
Well, yeah, our officers were always out there looking, and it's not. And when we drive by and the officers see a garage door open, or maybe they see a dome light on in a car or a window rolled down in a car, we'll find out who the owner is, and it's a tough decision sometimes. But at 3 o'clock in the morning, I'd rather wake them up and let them know that their garage door was left open, rather than just drive by. And we could drive by and somebody come in right behind us, and
I'll tell you what, if the police had woken me up twice in the middle of the night in this past week, I think I might be a little more cautious about the garage door and make it part of my list of, hey, will somebody please go check so I don't get woken up at 2:30 in the morning?
Right, exactly. And a lot of times people will be initially like, what's going on here? And then they say, hey, sorry, sir, but your garage door is open. They're like, hey, thanks for waking us up. And a lot of times people will be like, well, I locked my car door. And what they do is they use the key fobs, and they do the old over the head as they're walking in, and they're like, oh, I lock it every day when I go in, and those things aren't perfect, and it doesn't get as
batteries wear out.
Right.
You gotta get closer and closer to the car.
Exactly. Something's blocking it at the time, and it doesn't get locked, and it only takes a second for somebody. They were just talking about walking down the street. They're walking down the street. They just try that car door. How long does it take for them to try that car door and get that iPod that's sitting on your front seat that you left? I mean, it's a matter of seconds. Yeah. And so we're always trying to, go around and make sure that if we see something that makes the car look like it's unlocked or unsecured or something, try to figure out what's going on and get the owner and have them lock it.
It used to be back in the day, you could tell if a car door was unlocked because the little plunger thing was up and not down.
Yes.
You can't tell on most cars, any car that I can think of anymore, if that's the case.
No, you're absolutely right. You don't even see that, but
dating myself truly over here is like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. or these old cars you're talking about.
Or when you needed 2 keys to get into a car.
Remember?
I just
one
saw
for the
that
trunk.
one.
One for the door.
Right. But we definitely take a proactive stance out there. Lieutenant Adam Schuster, puts together. We put together the intelligence for the day, and the officers do a great job about being proactive and going out there to prevent the burglaries, and just getting in touch with the residents so that they know to protect their property. I know the chief has mentioned if you like it, lock it.
He just likes it because I think he came up with the saying.
That's a good one, though.
It's all right. We sometimes change it a little here out there, but that's all right. Got a couple other things going on. Maybe you guys can talk about Walk with the Mayor. I think you just finished up, and you're going to be doing some more of those. Do you know when the next one's coming? You've got Kids United. We just talked about Sergeant Ramljak and the burglary prevention overnight.
Yeah, we were just out at Sunset Park. That's actually one of the places where we had a couple of the shootings at, and had some of the residents out there. We've been out there a lot already. The first one was rained out. It was supposed to be a week ago, and we've been out there. Our gang unit's been out there talking with the residents. So we still had a few show up for the walk, and it was a nice time. We were able to get involved with them. We probably had 15 to 20 people out on the walk. A lot of police officers were there, and these are the mayor's walks, and we show up, kind of hop on board with him, and Public Works is there, 311's there, and the next one is out in Randall Ridge. If you go to the city's website, we can tell you where it is, but I think it's coming up here on. They're usually on Wednesday nights. Yeah, exactly. You can find them there.
Cityofelgin.org.
Yep, and you go Walk with the Mayor, and so that's coming up in Randall Ridge is the next one, and then what was the other one we wanted to hit on?
Kids United.
Kids United's coming up, and that's starting. I think I think it's next week, June 4th. So that is the one that it's a part of our Safe Summer program that's going on for all the kids. You can go to
with the Explorers or no?
No, the Explorers do
Okay.
help out with it,
Okay.
but these are kids from any kids can come from the neighborhood. They get signed up. Our school resource officers, so the officers that are in the schools then go to. It's actually June 8th. Then come to the school, and we have all the kids show up, and it's not just like a open gym where kids just run around and play basketball all the time. They actually do a lot of great stuff. They teach them things about safety, about leadership. One of our officers had in the past had even talked about cooking and helping them to learn those things. So basically some life skill types of
Important,
classes. Yeah, it is. And so it's a great program. It helps us give kids some positive choices. So sometimes parents don't know what to do with their kids during the summer months, especially later in the afternoon and the evening hours. And the police department has stepped up, worked with our Parks and Recreation department and U46 to have a location at the school, and we're excited for it. So Kids United, and we'll be talking more about that as we move forward.
Saw a posting. I'm not sure how much information you have on this on your page on social media about being the 31st safest city in, was it Illinois or
World. Oh,
the nation, U.S. Right?
US,
Was it?
was, yeah.
And then 27th in diversity.
Yes.
I don't know where those statistics came from. I didn't dive
Mm-hmm.
deep into the story yet or anything, but I think I just saw that posted yesterday. That was kind of interesting.
That is nice, and what does that mean? And there were a couple different groups. I know one was Niche, I think, that did part of the survey. I think that was the one on the safety, and they looked at Part 1 crime, and it's always interesting when we're talking about some of these things with the shootings that are going on, and then all of a sudden this study comes out and it does. Well, we're having all these shootings. How could that be so?
Right.
I think when you really look at not just crime, but what we're doing here in the city overall, and how much growth has been happening over the years, and look at all the things that are going on. Yeah, we're city. We have issues. I talk about we have gang issues, and we will have shootings from time to time, and sometimes more often, right here, like recently in a row, have a lot of them in a row. But our strategies seem to be working. We're reducing crime. We're nowhere near where we were at in the early 90s, cutting Part 1 crime in half. We are just doing a lot, from the resident officer program to our walk and talks to the technology to Predpol. We're really hitting it on a lot of different angles, and the credit goes to the officer. I went to midnight shift roll call last night just to thank them, because we also graduated our Citizens Police Academy, and during it, one of the people got up and they all signed a kind of a form and basically thanked the police department. And really, it's there's so many people who are involved. Citizens Police Academy, the graduates, the Alumni Association, the people who come with Cop on Top or get involved with National Night Out. There's a lot of great stuff going on here. We got a lot of work to do, so that study I thought, oh wow, that's good, shows we're on the right path and we're doing some things, but we've still got a lot of work to do, and we're going to continue doing this work. But I like to spend a lot of my time with the people who make that happen. Steve Thorne's here, and I know he did the Veteran of the Month just at the City Council the other day. There's so many people who make this community just fantastic, and they get involved and they help make us better. And so I think they're as much as the police departments, the communities are a big reason why we've made that list. And hopefully next year we'll be even. I think Naperville is #1 in the country, right? And we end up being 31st. We're the only 2 in the whole state of Illinois.
I think there was another report that I saw, and I don't have it in front of me, so I can't speak to it, but I know you were one of like the top 3 or 4 cities in terms of growth. There was like a 3,000 or population gain in the last 4 years from 2010 to 2014, and there weren't many. I think the city of Chicago went down by like 10%, so they lost like 25,000.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were a few that were growing, and yeah. I didn't see that specifically, but
111,187 for the population now.
it sounds right. I always say
So,
110, so
yeah.
yeah, it sounds right. And so there's a lot of great stuff going on, and a lot of work left to do, but like I said, I give all the credit to the officers who are actually out there doing the work, and then the community who gets involved and helps us along the way. So I thought that study was cool, great to be a part of, but we're going to keep plugging away.
Yeah, not lose sight of what else. You're not done.
Exactly.
Right.
Like they tell people, don't get enamored with your sports, with your headlines. They tell
Right.
athletes, don't read your headlines.
your
I think you don't
headlines.
need to go to practice anymore.
All right, gentlemen, thank you. Sergeant Ramljak, Chief Jess Swoboda, thanks for both of you for coming in today. Have a safe weekend.
Thanks for having me.
And
See you, Cop on Top, heading down
are
to
you
the
heading
Dunkin'
back out
Donuts.
there?
Yeah, I'm finished.
Oh, okay.
I'm taking his
You've done
place.
your shift.
Yeah.
You're taking his place.
I'm going down there now. So.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
that's right. Gonna hop up there.
A lot of people there. Stop
No
on
ladder
by.
needed.
Jump right out.
All right, guys. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You're listening to AM 1410, WRMN.
And Elgin.